looking at the impact that I'm making in my school community and going, am I actually having an impact here? You know, I think I've run a really great staff meeting, but have I run a really great staff meeting? Is this actually what the staff need? And actively seeking out feedback from my colleagues so that I can go, yes, that hit the mark, or no, that didn't hit the mark. And why is that? And not only looking at how I'm impacting my colleagues, but also impacting on my students, because sometimes I think we forget to ask them for their feedback along the way, right? And so if the way that we're teaching isn't working for them, then they're not going to learn, are they? So it's made me so much more aware of actively seeking out that feedback from my students as well, and encouraging my colleagues to do the same. Because
and much more reflective.
Absolutely, so much more reflective. It refines what it is that I'm doing in the classroom, and the kids have been really receptive to it as well. Yeah.
Did it also get you to think about, other than feedback, what type of or what range of evidence can I actually use to assess what impact I'm having? Because I know going through the process, that was a big sort of paradigm shift for me.
Yes.
How did you find sort of looking at different ways of getting evidence of your impact?
Yeah, well, I think, you know, there's that side of evidence where you go, okay, well, this is how I feel it went. This is how I feel my students went. Or you might look at some data and go, okay, I can see that there's been growth here, but looking at other forms of data as well to check that impact. Can you tell me what you actually thought about this? Is this something that has had impact over time, not just after we've done our couple of week unit on multiplication? So looking at the long game for impact rather than just that short period of time.
And demonstrated evidence that validates your practice. Yeah.
To demonstrate all the standards, you need to be doing things like leading professional learning, modelling your classroom practice. There's a lot of things that take a little bit of contribution from other people in the school as well. So I think making sure that you obviously get the support from your principal and your DP or your AP or your head teacher, just to make sure that you have access to some of those things that you will need to demonstrate that from the beginning. Once you get the accreditation, while it is an amazing acknowledgement of you operating at that level at that point in time, I've really enjoyed the ongoing commitment to staying at that level and demonstrating those standards. And that does take work too. So it's not just the process. Once you get there, you're constantly making sure, going back to the standards, well, what should I be doing here? And reading and making sure that our daily leadership and our daily practice is reflective of that too. It's hard work, but it's good work.
It is, absolutely.
A lot of applicants are quite nervous about the site visit, or external observation, I think it was for us. How did you guys go with your day?
I think getting to the day was probably the hardest part of it. It was doing the preparation. It was working through that anxiety around, someone's coming to watch me and I don't know who they are. What if they say I'm no good?
Yes.
You go through that whole imposter syndrome process. But when I got to the day, it was the most affirming, encouraging day. The person who came and watched me teach was wonderful and just, seamlessly fit into the day, and it was a really rewarding day. So once I got through that initial paperwork and worry about it, it was great.
Yeah. Planning, I think, is the key, isn't it? Yes. Planning, being really clear in terms of what the day looks like and having all that documentation to back up what the day is going to run like.
Yeah, and I agree, it was quite positive. And one of the things that I took from that day at the very end in the feedback session was not that I had my leadership attested to as part of that process, but celebrated what great things my school was doing. Yes. And I was able to put that on show for that person who was watching for the day as well.